believe we're all familiar with the dynamics that take place between teaching and learning, between being the instructor and being the student. And many of us gathered here in this room, either formally or informally, have been in both roles. There have been occasions when we've been teachers, there have been occasions when we've been the students. But I think in truth we recognize that this is an ongoing dynamic in our lives. It is not that you become one and stop being the other, but really you become a good teacher by being a lifelong learner. You become a good student by being open to hearing the wisdom and the knowledge of someone else. And I think there's an excellent example of that as we reflect on the experience told to us in the Acts of the Apostles. When we hear of Apollos, who comes from a great center of learning in Alexandria, who's described as eloquent, knowledgeable, powerful in his delivery, and he boldly is able to preach on Jesus. But as we listen, there's kind of that shocking line that all he knows is the baptism of John. There's a major, major gap in his appreciation for the experience of Jesus. And so as a teacher, he's up speaking, boldly talking, sharing what he knows. Then you have that great dynamic of two who hear him. This great couple, Priscilla and Aquila, who seemingly pull him aside. They don't embarrass him. They don't challenge him. They don't correct him. They instruct him further. They were the students, and he was the teacher, but now he becomes the student, and they are the teachers. And by that dynamic and that process and that exchange, he comes to a fuller knowledge of who Jesus is, and as we know, goes on to be a profound preacher and teacher of the gospel. So I think as we gather here in Chapter, brothers, we are in the midst of that dynamic, that we are teachers, we are learners, and I think we approach it out of the perspective of Bonaventure, recognizing ultimately that there is one teacher, and it is Christ. But as we come together as brothers, there are times when we will listen to the wisdom of another. There are times when we will have to share our knowledge. And there may be times when we have to challenge and correct one another, or help one to have a broader experience of their knowledge. But use the example of Priscilla and Aquila. Not one to beat someone down, not to use our information, our knowledge in a way that is manipulative, or a way that puts someone else down, but always in a way that frees someone up and helps them to grow in the dynamic and the understanding of who Jesus is. And it is that process that we will share. It's that process, hopefully, that we will be able to bring back to our brothers and continue the lifelong process of sharing wisdom and also of learning the message of the Lord Jesus.